You must look at your life. Look at your life through heaven's eye.
What's going on, y'all? I am Jaron. I am a voice teacher, speech trainer, and the founder and owner of this illustrious studio, the Jaron M. LeGuerre Studio. Lately, I'm doing a lot of TV and film soundtrack analyses, if you will, and a lot of you have asked for this song, and so I wanted to get to it before too long. I know I get a ton of requests, but I wanted to make sure I got to this one because a lot of you have asked for this song ever since I've done the other Prince of Egypt songs. So, y'all, let's get right into this good song. Here is a voice analysis of Through Heaven's Eyes from the Prince of Egypt.
Single thread in a tapestry, though its color brightly shine, can never see its purpose in the pattern of the grand design. And the stone that sits on the very top of the mountain's mighty face, does it think it's more important than the stones that form the base?
I really enjoy the clear articulation he has when he's singing. The word important, for some reason, stuck out to me. Important. It wasn't important, and it wasn't important, but it was important. The two T's in important were very present, though they were not overly done or kind of, over enunciated. They were still very present. I always tell my clients, clear consonants over hard consonants. To me, clear consonants over hard consonants give humanity and authenticity to the human experience of language, if I can say it that deeply. A lot of us are very informal, talking to close friends and family and things like that. So we're not always talking like this all the time. We're not always doing that. But to me, when I hear actors and singers sing these humane songs or have these humane experiences or interactions with other people in the show, production, or whatever the case may be, there has to be a level of humanity. If everything's over enunciated, it kind of feels inauthentic and weird. I really appreciate the clarity of his consonants, but still the humane aspect, the realness. It's not overdone. It's like perfect. It's like a perfect balance. I love that.
So how can you see what your life is worth, or where your value lies? You can never see through the eyes of man. You must look at your life. Look at your life through heaven's eye.
I also love the breathiness that he sometimes uses in his singing. Look at your life. You hear that little breathiness? It's that hopeful, like, oh man, look at it. Wow. We do that sometimes in our communication. We use breathiness. We use that breathy friction in our vocal folds to kind of give hope or anticipation. Something's happening through heaven's eyes. So instead of like through heaven's eyes, which is fine, that breathy through heaven's eyes kind of gives a little anticipation, a little excitement to the vocal line.
I don't know how.
I love the brightness of those vowels. La 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 li la 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 la. You see how everything's kind of la 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 li la la. Kind of smile. It kind of gives that excitement and that brightness to the song. And the L consonant is kind of light. It's almost bouncing within music. La 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 li la 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 li la la. It's not la 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 la. It's not really hard. It's light and bouncy. And it almost has a bright texture like the vowel. La la la. Because if I'm shaping the mouth with the vowel in mind as I'm doing the L sound can also be altered because the L is a voice consonant. So if I'm making sound lie, 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 all I'm doing is change my mouth shape. Lie, 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 lie. You see how when I change my mouth shape, the L sound changes. Super intentional. So if they keep the shape of the vowel outright, la 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 la, and I know I'm getting the la lies wrong, but you see what I'm saying? If I keep that vowel shape bright and kind of more spread, the L phoneme or consonant will have that spread or that bright sound as well. So how you shape voice consonants can also influence how the vocal line is heard.
streak of gold in the desert sand is less than a cool, fresh spring. And to one lost sheep, a shepherd boy is greater than the richest king.
Now, in this line, he has more body to his voice. It's almost like this. La 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 da 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 of the king. You see, there's kind of a bit more of a shape here versus before it was kind of right here and softer. But now there's more sound in different shape. Maybe a little bit pucker of the lips. I can't see him, so I really don't know what he's doing. But what it sounds like, it's like a pucker of the lips, maybe a more longer vowel shape. La 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 da 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 king. You see what I'm saying? Maybe laryngeal changes, probably a lower larynx, it sounds like. La 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 la. Almost like a classical shape, if you will. Almost. Very like golden age musical theater. Yeah.
If a man lose everything he owns, has he truly lost his worth? Or is it the beginning of a new and brighter birth? So how do you measure the worth of a man in wealth or strength or size? In how much he gained or how much he gained?
Do you hear much he gave, much he gave? There's more punch to the articulation now, more punch to the consonants now than before. Yeah, much he gave, much he gave. Yeah,
The answer will come. The answer will come to him who tries to look at his life through heaven's eyes. And that's why we share all we have with you, though there's little to be found. When all you've got is nothing, there's a lot to go around.
And I love the message behind the song. We see one thing and we think, oh God, I'm a failure. But look at the broader picture. Look at the bigger picture. Through heaven's eyes, I'm looking at a bigger picture of something because I'm up higher and I can see down low. When I was thinking about this song, I was thinking about sometimes how I take things that I didn't do or I want to do that I haven't done yet. I'm like, man, I wish I could get that done. I wish I can make that happen now. But when I take a look back and say, but Jaron, you done came a long way from where you were. You know, you have to remember those moments sometimes to say, oh, but I did come a long way. I might not be where I want to be right now, but I came a long way. I'm not where I used to be. You know, I done came a long way. You know, encourage yourself with this song. I got to look at my life through heaven's eyes. You know, and even taking it a step further, think about how God looks at your life. I mean, he sees your entire life from beginning to end. Your entire life, you know, and so we see pockets, we see minute, second. We're so finite. He's like, boom. We call him the author and finisher of our faith. We said it for a reason. He is the author. He was at the beginning. He'll be the finish. He is the first and the last beginning. We say that stuff for a reason. Through his eyes, he sees everything. And so it's like, why not trust him? You know, why not depend on him? He sees your life in such a bigger picture. You see minute, second. And I'm guilty of it too. But through heaven's eyes, what else could I see? What else could be there? Man, I've come such a long way from whence I've came. I mean, I can even talk about my business and stuff like that. You know, I'm sitting here thinking, I got to get to my next goal. I got to get to the next thing. But y'all, I've been a full-time entrepreneur for a whole year, over a year. That's huge. I remember crying when I quit my last 9 to 5, if you will. I remember crying, being so scared, but I knew I had to do it. Even my students were like, bruh, you need to step down. They told me that 3-4 years before I stepped down. They were like, you gotta go and do your thing. And I am so glad that I stepped down, not because I didn't like where I was. I loved where I was, but I had to trust God through heaven's eyes, the bigger picture. He knew the bigger picture, and I knew it was time for me to go. I knew it. I felt it for years, but I held on because it was comfortable, it was cool, but through heaven's eyes, through God's eyes, he was like, hey, if you just let this thing go and trust me, let me show you what I can do for and with you to ultimately give me all the glory. So I hope you hear the message of this song. Bigger picture, y'all. Bigger picture. Have your goals, have your dreams, have your aspirations. Go for it. But remember from whence you came. Remember from whence you came. Remember the bigger picture through heaven's eyes. I love that.
No life can escape being blown about by the winds of change and chance. And no, you never know all the steps.
Dance with me.
You must learn to join the dance. You must learn to join the dance.
Did you hear the differences in you must learn to join the dance? Those two lines when he said it twice. The first one was soft and that breathy stuff I talked about, like that anticipation breathy sound. And then the second one was bigger as he went to the key change. Yeah. So those dynamic differences can make a huge difference in how the vocal line is interpreted to the ear and how we connect to the emotion of the vocal line. Because this is telling a story and kind of telling a part of the story, if you will, of, hey, bruh, hey, man, you good. Like, look at what you done. Like, you may not see it, but I'm gonna tell you what I see. You know, look through heaven's eyes, you know, yeah. So those dynamic differences gave us a build-up between those two lines and kind of into the refrain again with this key change.
What a man is worth by what he builds or buys. You can never see with your eyes on earth. Look through heaven's eyes. Look at your life. Look at your life.
Look at your life. He kind of said that, and then he said, look at your life. So that first look at your life was kind of said, kind of sung spoken, if you will. And then look at your life had more of that classical sung voicing there. You see the difference I'm saying? Like, he's giving so many dynamic differences in the same line. He'll say the same line 2-3 times and give a different way of saying it each and every time. This comes to show you how diverse and how adaptable the voice can be and how many layers you can add to a song. Because part of the magic of this soundtrack and these songs are how they tell the story with their voice. One of the many things that makes the soundtrack really magical. But as a voice teacher, that's what I'm speaking about, is how they use their voice and their laryngeal space and their articulatory muscles and things like that. How they use all these vocal things to tell the story and to progress the plot of the film, of the production, of the show. Okay, so you can add so much more intentionality in how you sing to emote. It's not just about riffs and runs and you know, having the right tone and things like that. You know, it's about how do I emote? How do I portray what the song is about? And sometimes the portraying could be, I'm going to speak a part. Sometimes, depending on the song, sometimes the portraying means I'm going to put this vocal throw in here. I want to have more of a raw sound. I don't know. I'm kind of going to rabbit hole here, but I'm saying don't limit yourself to just saying I got to have the right tone and right runs. There are so many more ways to add emotion and to add, you know, razzle dazzle to your vocal line.
Look at your life through heaven's
If you enjoyed this analysis, click subscribe down below to click the alert button next to it so you know when the next video is posted. And as I will always say to you, be vocally bold, creative, and aware, but most of all, be vocally you. All right, y'all, love you. I'll see y'all soon.